The piece that I have behind me is part of this really immense series that I've been working on for a really long time that's been culminating in my head about me, about my family, and about my culture, and about the times that we're going through right now. I think it's really important to have, and I think that's why I created this series, like this piece behind me. It's part of this bigger picture of the immigrant community, of the struggle, and of this like crossroads of being a Hispanic. Like, where do you see yourself? Where do other people see you? Do you think it's right to be here and be a Hispanic? Do you think it's wrong to be here and be a Hispanic? And why should you have to feel that way? There's three pieces. So there's a good side. So it's like the good things, the strong things, a powerful immigrant that comes here for like a better future, comes here for their family, and comes here, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle to be here and to be part of this community. But you wouldn't have it any other way because it's so great and there's so many great things about being here. It's also really difficult, and there's a lot of dark sides, and there's a lot of bad things, and there's a lot of negativity. Heard a lot of things and experienced a lot of things where people would say certain things to you, like, you don't belong here, you guys are all rats, you guys just come here and steal jobs. But are we really stealing jobs, or are we just trying to create a better future? Like, there's two sides to everything, right? So then that's where the middle panel comes in, where it's like this divide of good and bad, because there's a little bit of good and bad within, I think, a lot of things that we kind of have to look back and think about and think what is actually the right and the wrong thing to do. And it's scary. It's scary times that we're living in, and I wanted to capture this moment because it's this ongoing cycle. So this series is an ongoing cycle because it's just constantly going on, it's constantly being repeated. And the question here is why is this still a thing that's happening? Why are we still treating each other this way when we're all here for a better future? And regardless if some people do bad, that doesn't mean we're all bad.
Sometimes in different situations, I will not include my ethnicity. Sometimes in other situations, I'll embrace it. And the reason for this is because of the way I feel personally. Sometimes I feel like if I'm not too Mexican enough, or if I'm not too Japanese enough, so I'll put one away and I'll bring the other one out. I think one of the things that I love about my culture is the food. I think food in any culture is great. Food is what brings family together. Food is what brings unity and brings a smile to your face. Growing up, I would say both of my parents didn't really embrace my Japanese side, more as because they didn't understand it. I'm a quarter Japanese, and I think that's a big part of me. And unfortunately, all of that heritage has been lost because no one likes to research it, no one likes to ask questions about it. Same thing with the Hispanic side. I'm about 3/4, a half Hispanic, and my parents kind of dismissed that. They just wanted me to be brought up, speaking English, doing what the kids in elementary school did. One of the things that I love being about a Japanese Mexican American is that there's so many different things within me, and it makes up who I am. And there's no one else in the world that's going to have this amount or this amount or this percentage or that percentage of that culture. That no one's the same. Everyone is made different, and I like that.
I have felt at times that I've needed to pick. Something that I've realized growing up is that I was never fully American, and I was never fully Arab. When I would go back, and even when I was abroad in Jordan for a full year, people would tell me, "Oh, you're just American." I'm like, "But I'm Jordan." And they're like, "Yeah, but you were born and raised in America." So they almost, like, when I would mess up saying something, they're like, "No, it's fine. You're just a foreigner. You're just American." So it was almost like I had one foot in, but I could never get the other one in as well. And that's where the multicultural essence of the way that I was raised and the environment that I was raised in, the atmosphere, plays into my character now. And my persona is that I have always been tolerant of not only the culture that I was raised in, but the culture that I feel exiting the house. By the culture that I was raised in, it means within the house is something completely different than when I exit the house. And that's made me into a very, I guess, holistic person from that sense. But also the multiculturalism that we think of nowadays, it's just blatantly non-existent in some parts of American society. I also would come to school at times with different foods, and like I said, I grew up in a homogenous community. People like, what is that? Like, it's disgusting. I would sometimes be embarrassed to bring that food to school. I told my mom, just bring me a Lunchable. I don't want anything but a Lunchable or a cup of noodles. So that was something else that I experienced growing up. And I realized that I have younger siblings. I'm the oldest of 4 children. They do fall when you're a lead. When I would do those things, it would reflect on my siblings. And there was a stage where I didn't want to speak Arabic at all. I'm fluent not only in the Palestinian Jordanian tongue, which is what they say. I'm fluent in modern Syrian Arabic. So I was fortunate enough to have Egyptian cousins, a Palestinian father, a Jordanian mother, and a lot of friends who are from the Khalij. So I know all the dialects. And I reached a point where I didn't even want to speak Arabic because I didn't want to feel like I was the odd one out with the lunch table.